What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and look, I am well aware that this video is going to ruffle some feathers, especially for people over there in the UK. But hear me out. I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to ruffle feathers. I'm just here to express my views and opinions. No offense to anyone, and hopefully the majority of you all can respect that. Now, one thing that I've noticed about the world over, the past few years is that when it comes to America's leaders, it's always open season for people in other countries to make fun of them. People in other countries make fun of our presidents all the time. I see people trashing Donald Trump on a daily basis, and he isn't even president anymore. And not as much, but you see people making fun of Joe Biden. And you know what? I never have a problem when I see people from other countries making fun of our presidents. Hell, sometimes I join in with them for a good laugh. It's fun. It's funny. And a way for all of us to connect. Even if you're 1,000 or 10,000 miles away overseas or however many miles, you get it, right? So it's never something that I viewed as personally disrespectful to me, because what the president has going on has very little to do with who I am as a person. But one thing I have noticed is that other people aren't as accepting when it comes to Americans making fun of their leaders. Now, I understand that the king and queen and the prince and all of that stuff, they're a little bit different than the president. I get that. I get it. However, I've noticed that when you mention the royal family, people start, they start tensing up. Like they will crack a joke about Joe Biden or Donald Trump, and then you crack a joke about the royal family and crickets. Oh, how dare you say this about the royal family? How dare you? So I noticed that people aren't as accepting when it comes to cracking jokes or saying things about, the leaders in their countries that they admire or look up to. Well, yesterday I caught some heat on Twitter for what I said about the royal family. And what I basically said, and I'll just tell you, quote, like exactly what I said, even though it probably won't be good for YouTube. I said that when you boil it, or quote for quote, I said that I do not understand the fascination with the royal family. And what I mean by that is I don't understand the fascination. I get why people in England over there are fascinated by it, but I don't understand why people in America obsess over the royal family and stuff like that. And for one, a lot of Americans, we're rebellious. Real Americans, not these new age soy boys that you see, but real Americans, I think we're rebellious at nature, like just at heart. So when I hear the word king and queen, it doesn't sit right with me, but I do respect traditions. So I respect that, England has kept up this tradition for so long. So I'm not one of those people that's opposed to this tradition. In fact, I am very much opposed to the people who are opposed to the tradition, because those are the type of people that I usually don't agree with. The same type of people that are over here, down with the monarchy, yeah. I'm not here to do all of that, basically. But what I said, the exact quote that I said on Twitter, was that I don't understand people's fascination with the royal family, because when you boil it down, the royal family is basically just a bunch of cousin fucking pedophiles. And that's about it. That's what I said. Now I know that sounds kind of harsh, but I have a harsh way of delivering my words. Do you want me to be a robot? Oh, yeah, royal family, cool, beep, bop, boop, boop. It's like when you add some personality and pizzazz in what you say, people get angry because people want you to be a bland piece of toast or something. You know what I mean? So I understand that sometimes the things I say and the way I say them, it hits you a little harder than the average person. And I don't necessarily do that on purpose, That's just the kind of person I am, and I think it's a good quality. Maybe I'm wrong. But I basically said that the royal family's a bunch of cousin fucking pedophiles. And I understand why that got people upset. You know, I understand that people admire these people, and that's okay, do you? But even if you get upset by what I just said, you can't deny that what I said is very much true. I mean, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip were like third cousins, weren't they? And if my history serves me correctly, sorry, I'm a little dusty on it, okay? I'll admit. But I'm pretty sure if you go back in history and look at the royal family, there's a lot of inbreeding within the royal family. There always has been. It's led to certain diseases and all types of stuff throughout history. So when I call them cousin effers, it's true because they literally have sex with their cousins. And they do it purposely because they want to keep the bloodline intact. They want to keep the bloodline pure. So instead of dating out like, okay, we're going to date this random girl or this random dude, they literally hook up with their own family members. So that's just facts. And when it comes to the pedo comments, I say that because the royal family has a history of being connected and having ties to some of the most notorious pedos in the history of our world. Now, we could go back through history and point out a bunch of scenarios where the royal family, you know, participated in some weird stuff with kids and stuff like that. I'm not going to do that. Maybe we'll save that for a video for another day. But just in recent history, they have ties to Epstein, Prince Andrew and Epstein. Come on. King Charles. Charles, the guy who was just crowned yesterday. He is linked to one of the most notorious, and I mean one of the most notorious pedos in the history of the world, Jimmy Savile. Now that's also another story for another day, but Jimmy Savile was basically an unofficial advisor to King Charles. King Charles would look to him often for advice on what to do and things of that nature. So the royal family, not only are they inbreds, that's just facts, they have a lot of ties to notorious pedos. Now, of course, people who really admire the royal family, they'll try to explain that away, but that's not going to cut it here. I'm not here to trash on these people or to trash you or your traditions, but I also have a responsibility to stick to the facts, and the facts are what I said. Now, yesterday, this is what this video is really about. I had to go on that little rant real quick. Yesterday was the coronation. They were crowning King Charles. And I gotta admit, it's often interesting to see. I mean, it looks like one big cult ritual. There's a lot of occult symbology within these coronations and these elegant events. You know, there's a lot of cult symbology there that just flies right over people's head. I don't know why. They've been doing this stuff blatantly in our faces for a long time. But people love it. And if you love it, I love it. You know, okay, cool. Okay, cool. But some people pointed out something really creepy that happened at yesterday's coronation. People are saying they spotted the Grim Reaper in the background. Now, when I first heard this, I was laughing like, oh my God, another one of these weird, whacked out conspiracies. And then I saw the video. Oh my God, it was creepy. But you know, I'm someone that's honestly, like looking at the coronation that happened yesterday, I see the beauty in it. You know, you see the gold, the elegant jewels, the clothing. But I also see the creepiness in it. Like really creepy wickedness within it. And I don't know if other people spot that, but it's kind of like right there. At least for me, I see it. And I feel like people, they go into situations with certain biases and it kind of blinds them to things that are happening within their face or right in front of their face. But like I said, I mean, I could talk about this stuff all day. I have to make separate videos diving into some of these things if you all would like. But yesterday, I want you all to watch this clip. People spotted a dark cloaked figure quickly walked by with what literally looks like a scythe, a freaking Grim Reaper weapon. Let's go ahead and watch this clip, okay? I'm going to play it a couple of times for you. It goes by really quick, so pay attention. And then I'll be back with more thoughts. But before I even get back with more thoughts, I want you all to drop your thoughts down below and hit that like button. We got to start getting those likes up on these videos. But without further ado, let's check out the clip.
Cameras to be focusing on. Cameras to be focusing on. Focusing on.
Now that was kind of creepy. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, maybe, probably, it was just someone, you know, that was part of the ceremony and they had to hurry up and scurry real quick and get out of the way. But damn, did that not look creepy? Why did they look so dark? Like, why was the figure so dark? Everything is so colorful. You know, everyone's in all of these different colors. You got the jewels gleaming, the gold gleaming, and then you got this super dark figure that just... I don't know what the heck it was. Maybe it was Meghan Markle in disguise. I think that's a I think that's a huge possibility. Meghan Markle came as the Grim Reaper. Listen, I've seen crazier things. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. A lot of people seem to believe that Meghan Markle was in disguise at this event. But yeah, there's no denying that it was creepy. A lot of people say that this is the Grim Reaper coming back for revenge for Princess Diana. And, you know, I say that jokingly. I don't believe that. I don't know what that thing was, okay? But I will say that Princess Diana is what originally put a bad taste in my mouth about the royal family. I was very young when she died. But I remember my mom really liked Princess Diana. Like when I say a lot of Americans don't understand the whole king and queen thing, and we don't really get down with all of that, when it came to Princess Diana, she was like a rock star in America. People loved Princess Diana over here. I don't see people caring about Queen Elizabeth, King Charles, Harry, or Andrew, or all of these other people. I don't really see people caring about them in America. But Princess Diana, people absolutely loved that lady over here. And when she died, I was very young. But I even remember then not understanding and not believing the narrative behind her death. I didn't believe it. Something about it seemed off. And I think that's what started, you know, I don't want to say my disdain for the royal family, but in that moment as a child, that's where I started thinking, oh, okay, the royal family must be kind of shady. I don't for 1 second believe that Princess Diana's death was necessarily an accident. I do believe that there's a lot of dark things that, you know, are behind that death. And I feel like everyone kind of knows that, but everyone's turned a blind eye to it for the sake of tradition. Like, oh yeah, we know, yeah, it looks like the royal family might have knocked off Princess Diana, but hey, who cares? Coronation time. Let's crown the king. Yeah, we know they assassinated that woman, but hey, come on, the crown jewels, yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, oh no, sorry. You already lost me. When Princess Diana died, y'all lost me. And ever since then, you know, I've looked into the royal family. I'm not a royal family expert, but a lot of the things I've seen definitely don't make me feel fondly of these people at all. And I'm not even talking about, like, a lot of people these days, the woke-minded people, they talk about how the royal family, they went over here, took over this country, and they conquered this land. I don't mind all of that stuff, okay? The reality of life is land gets taken over and conquered. There's war. That's the reality of life. I'm talking about the, like, straight up sadistic, dark type stuff that's within their history. And I mean, it gets dark. And like I even said, even in recent history, with the actual king that was just crowned, dude was like this with one of the most notorious pedos in the history of the world. So I'm never going to look past that. Those are things I can't look past. But at the end of the day, what was this figure? Who was it? Maybe someone in England can explain to us down in the comments below. But while you're down there, please hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button. Ring that notification bell. And hopefully, no Grim Reapers show up at our houses tonight.